E1. So group E1 consists of Conrad, Teja, Niki, as well as Terry. And I'll be showing their case study questions, so you have some context as to what's happening. Okay, so this is the question that we have posed to group E1, and they'll be presenting on this topic. Yep, and any questions you have, you can ask at any point in time. So please, we have set the chat to only messaging the host. So any questions, please direct it to election comm Kelly, and she'll be monitoring the questions to be asked later in Q&A. So I'll be asking on your behalf. Okay, that's all from me. Terry, please. I believe they are setting up, so we'll give them a short while. Don't forget to unmute yourself, guys. Good luck.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Teja. With me there's Terry, Conrad, and Niki. Sorry, just a sec. There's some technical difficulty. What is this? Okay, yeah, sorry again. So yeah, I'm Teja. With me there's Terry, Conrad, and Niki. And we have the case study to actually come up with creative solutions to tackle the problem of attracting sponsors for our online events due to COVID restrictions. So one of the idea we have thought of is actually collaborating with sponsorship agencies such as Unigram and All For You. So we think it's highly cost effective because as you can see here, with the collaboration with Unigram, there can be at least $2 of profit made for every category, such as shirts and meals. And when taken into consideration a proper event of about 600 people, we can make at least $3,000 savings. So I think it's highly advantageous for the finance side, as we can actually increase the budget for other events. Of course, when we collaborate with sponsorship agencies, we also have to keep in mind the mileages, which is having the Telegram and WhatsApp blasts with the information regarding the sponsors and the agency themselves, and also taking pictures with the sponsored items in the online events such as Zoom. We also have to do publicity on social media platforms, such as taking pictures with the sponsored items and also following the sponsors on social media platforms. So as mentioned before, due to COVID restrictions, we can't have a physical event. So we have looked into mailing service to actually give the sponsored items to the participants. And we feel that Ninja Van is the best option because it has a tracking function. It is also cost effective when compared to other mailing services. And it also has doorstep delivery. Some people can say that actually mailing will increase the overall cost of the event, but I feel that since there is no physical event, the cost on booking of the event and also the meals can be actually applied for a mailing service. And making Ninja Van our partner can also reduce the cost for the future programs also. So now I'll pass the time to Terry to share about the digital and media.
Yeah, hi, I'm Terry. So I'll be talking about the digital media presence. So for now, NG Club actually have three different types of social media, namely LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So as you can see, Instagram, we have like 1.8K followers, and then for Facebook itself, 2.6K followers. So with this, we can actually use our wide outreach to actually negotiate with external vendors or companies to actually form a partnership or a sponsorship. Next, with regards to using our Instagram, we can actually do such functions such as a giveaway post. Then we could also entice them to actually follow them for a chance to win something. Or the next would be to actually have those online courses either by our own engine club or by external vendor. Then in order to publicize those courses, we can also make use of a giveaway. Next will be using Instagram function that is currently inside, which is one of it is the Insta Live. We could use product placement or logo placement, such as this during ESLF. And then next will be like Instagram filters, which has a potential to actually input like logo placement as well. Then for those bigger sponsors, we can actually do like a Instagram thank you post. And using our current website, we can also include those long-term partnership. I'm talking about like those that we would be hoping to work with for at least a year. Then we can include them in our website, and then we can actually name them like a strategic partner. Then for now, most of the events are going online. So such as like this external presentation, we are using Zoom. So for that, we can actually make use of Kahoot to interact with the viewers and letting them answer questions as regarding to a product or company to allow them to win prize, and also to make use of the current Zoom background to actually for a logo or product placement. Next, I'll be handing my time to Conrad, who will be talking about e-vouchers.
Hello, everybody. My name is Conrad, and I'll be explaining to you about my idea of using e-vouchers in the time of COVID-19. So what is e-vouchers? Basically, e-voucher is creating an online link which will be sent to camp participants. Maybe we could even use a Telegram bot. The appeal to companies is that this increases the sales in this difficult time frame, and it's little upfront cost to companies because they are vouchers, hence making them palatable. But before we go on how this could potentially be a good idea, we must first consider that now we are in the middle of a recession. So companies might not be that willing to engage in promotion activity which cuts on their profits. And if vouchers given are conditional, meaning a limited expiry date or a minimum purchase price, this decreases the value of it in terms of welfare to the students. And we must also consider, would this become a recurring theme in the future? Would companies just want to give us vouchers and not want to give us their products or their monetary sponsorship anymore? But moving on, this, however, is a good idea because it has a very high reach. One blast and all of the camp participants are able to know of this voucher book, e-voucher book. And even if these vouchers are not used, they allow company to publicize themselves, hence making it appealing to company. It has little to no cost to engine club and definitely improves the welfare of students. Moving on, this could be linked with working with business. So introducing Niki.
Hi, good evening everyone. I'm Niki, and I'll be talking about how we can work with the business department of Engine Club in order to boost the sales of the club revenue, as well as to engage sponsors effectively through these avenues. So working with business can come in many forms. For example, procuring vouchers, pamphlets, as well as collaboration giveaways with the partners, because the business arm of Engineering Club does attract its own crowd for students who want to buy merchandise as well as different products, either for themselves or for their friends. So this is one way in which we can leverage on to get the sponsors' names out. So looking at the different ways in which we can engage these sponsors, this is some actionable steps in order we can take to start to engage and outreach to sponsors. So firstly is to identify the sponsors that we want to have on board. So we'll engage the sponsors which are popular among students, as well as some that are beneficial to the student population in general. So it's to align the branding and the merchandise of the items to what the students would like to receive. And then also, of course, is to come up with a pitch deck to see how we can use the data from the previous years or the previous year per se to find out what is the best way to engage the sponsors in this collaboration with the business department. And lastly, to set realistic expectations. Of course, we don't want to overpromise the partners or overpromise the student population when it comes to these kind of giveaways. So we want to use past outreach data to let the sponsors know what is the effective outreach of partnering with Engine Club if they were to come on board. as our sponsorship partner. Right, so the different ways in which the business department has changed with the COVID-19 situation is to use postage services in order to send out the shirt orders to the students. So this is one way in which we can partner with the business department. So to use the merchandise sales as a way of promotion of the sponsors, and also using viral marketing, for example, hashtags or some of the sponsors in order to get the students to kind of like know what sponsors are there. So looking at the feasibility of our measures that we have mentioned, these are the 3 key points that we feel that whatever we have proposed will actually be able to be materialized with careful preparation and expectations along the way. So there's the sales traffic and volume that we potentially could outreach to. For example, in the past year, we have sold over 1,000 items and to over 400 unique customers. So there's definitely the outreach in this avenue to outreach for sponsors. And the visibility to the sponsors will be greatly beneficial because that's what they will want most from partnerships with schools. So the publicity channels of engineering do have a lot of followership. So it's something that could be something to get the message or get the brand name of the sponsor out there. And lastly, we can use postage, include either vouchers or product sponsors in these postages that are mailed out to students who purchase items from the engineering store, because it is lightweight. The items are lightweight, and we also ensure that the items that the sponsors want to give out through this avenue comply with Xing Post or Ninja Van's procedures in order to post stuff out. Yeah, so back to our first point that we mentioned initially about a possible collaboration with Ninja Van. We understand that currently the postages sometimes are mailed by normal mail or smart pack postage. So considering that Ninja Van does provide a very credible service and a short like expected delivery time, it is possible that we collaborate them, and it complements the operations of the business department very well. So it's something that we could look to as a potential sponsor for the students. Right, so in light of the COVID-19 situation, we believe that our above engagement methods will firmly retain the support of the sponsors, and be it financially or through product sponsorships. So with your support, we hope to engage, to enact all these proposed measures. So thank you for your time, and please vote for us. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Group E1. So if anyone has any questions, please send into the chat to Election Com Kelly, and she will moderate the questions from there. Kelly, please.
So far, while we are waiting on any other questions, we've had one question from Sam. So Sam, I will temporarily unmute you, and then I'll give the question also. So for Teja, Terry, Conrad, and Niki, Sam's question to you is that for Unigram, we know it's cheap, but how can we ensure quality as compared to individually procuring the items? Sam, you've been unmuted also.
Okay, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh yes, yeah. So I wanted to ask, like, you know, Unigram, they give the bulk package and all that, right? But there's a trade-off in terms of quality, like whereas we procure from different vendors separately, like there's a reason why it's so cheap, you know what I mean? Like, cause they bundle it up together, and like, so how is it convincing, like in terms of quality, like how can we ensure good quality on the items that we procure from Unigram? Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Hi Sam, Hi Sam, thank you for your question. So actually Unigram and All4U, right, they are in collaboration with a lot of famous and prestigious sponsors, even like Nike, and also I think the quality is not the issue actually. And as you mentioned, like your question about why is the price so low, then I think it's because agencies like Unigram and All4U is actually like the bridging between such companies and student population like for us. And it's because we can actually get in contact with them much easier. And also they have much more advantages than just giving the sponsored items like the outreach in Telegram, Blast, and all that. So I think they have much more benefits even on the sponsor sites actually. So I think that's why they're willing to decrease the price that much. And actually, if you look into the websites of these agencies, they are actually collaborating with a lot of good quality with companies who offer good quality products actually. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so from me personally, I had a question. So I wanted to ask regarding the packaging of items for your shipping ideas. Have you considered that for large scale events like Welfare Pack, Engine Day, and Camp, it will be very strenuous on the team. And also because it's not just packing this time, but because you are delivering, you will also have to collate all addresses and name, address, and details, and then you'll have to sort of print it out or write it down on the package itself. So that would be extra steps in itself. So have you considered this before?
Right. Okay. So for your question, the part on adding these items, sponsor items into the package will be an extra item. So I think that one will be driven more by these numbers. So if you ask for items for sponsorship through packaged, like we're sending out packages, we'll definitely not ask for a huge quantity because we know that these items that we will want to send by post are actually for those students who have purchased items from the engineering store or something like that along the line. So it's not meant to be a mass distribution to all students within engineering. So this is the postage part is an additional avenue in which we can attract maybe some sponsors who want to maybe give certain items, and it's an add-on. It's not the main idea of attracting sponsors for the club.
Okay. Okay, there's a question from Priya, so I will unmute her.
Hello.
Yes.
All right, my question is regarding PDPAs. How exactly would you guys navigate the whole PDPA issue with regards to this delivery or sponsorship thing? Because that is a big concern for the club, especially if you're going to be printing out all these addresses or having to collate all this information somewhere. So how exactly are you going to ensure security? Thank you.
All right, so to clarify about the part where we post out items, right, is actually if the students purchase certain merchandise from the store, then we add on certain sponsored items into the packages. It's not one where they just get the items for free. So what has been going on is if the students would like the items to be posted to them because they do not come back to school or they would like the items quicker, so they will already provide their addresses in which the team will mail them out. So these items will come on as an add-on and not something in which we will collect data just to post out the items. Yeah, so that's on the idea of the postage part.
Priya, do you have any follow-up questions on that?
It's okay, thank you.
Okay, so the next question comes from Krishna. Krishna, you can unmute yourself or I can unmute you.
Yep, I'm unmuted. Yeah, so my question is for Conrad, a bit more specifically, because regarding the e-vouchers. So have you considered, for example, having a reward system in place for engineering students where e-vouchers can be systematically given throughout the semester instead of individual events?
Okay. I understand that reward system could be very appealing, especially if the vouchers have a cash value, like minus $50 for example, Popular. But it is of my opinion that everyone should be granted a certain amount of welfare, and we should try our best to execute this welfare. So I don't really would want to create a situation where people are competing for the voucher and then some people end up with no vouchers, because in any competition you need to have a winner and you must have many losers. This is not only like could potentially affect like the overall the welfare achieved by individual students, but also because if in doing so, companies might actually lose out in terms of publicity, because one shot you tell everyone, 1,000 people, that there is this voucher that if you spend $10, you get 10% off. This is something which the companies will have more publicity as compared to, hey guys, sign up for Instagram and maybe you get a $10 voucher. Even though the money given out by the company is the same, this $10 is all onto one person, whereas the other one is everyone get a bit. And I feel that everyone get a bit of benefits of welfare is a better policy.
Thank you. Thank you for the reply.
So is there any more questions? If not, that will be the end of the Q&A for this team. If you have any questions, please PM it to me now. If not, we will end the Q&A session. Do you have something to ask, Krishna?
Yeah, so another question. So it's regarding the strategic partnership and just your general approach with companies. Because now companies are in recession mode, you know, they are freezing hiring and they have other difficulties. So what's the approach the Engine Club should take in order to extract as much value from these companies, as well as keeping the relationship with these companies?
Hi, thank you for your question. So like, I think it depends on whether like how much money they can actually provide even during this recession, because like even during this recession, there are still some financial institutions that actually do still get profits, and then like they still get like profits due to like say like volatility in the stock market, all those. So I guess like it's still possible to get monetary like sponsorship from them. It is based on how we actually negotiate the partnership or the sponsorship. So it really depends on like our marketing strategy and also like what we can give them in return, like a whole package. Because like for a long-term partnership, I guess like there is more than just one event, but maybe like a continuous event or like consecutive events. And in order to actually incentivize them, we could actually like start putting their logos like on most of our events, something that can be actually be done now with say like Zoom, with all this, like even you also put the Engine Club logo on your background. So like it's something as easy as this. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe that's the last question for Group E1. Thanks for presenting. And then Clement, you can take over for the next group.
All right, so thank you again, Group E1. If anyone here wants to find out more about them and their write-ups, their nomination form, you can find it on engineclub.com/elections. Okay, so now we will move on to the next group.